pretty personal that I want to talk about today. Something that happened to me over the weekend, and um, I don't know, it's just bubbling up, and I have to share it. On Friday, my daughter and I went to Mount Shasta. We were going to go camping for the weekend, and we left at around 12:30 in the afternoon, and instead of it being the 8 or 9 hour drive that I anticipated, it was going to be more like 11 and a half. So I was really excited, and we're on our way, and we finally got off the freeway around, it was probably around 11 o'clock at night, and we're on this windy, dark road just taking us to our campground, and we were probably 2 miles out, and I saw a woman come from I don't know where across the street, and she was screaming, "Help, help, please stop, please stop." And she was carrying a little baby who was probably, I want to say, 9 months to 11 months old. And I was surprised, and I pulled over at the side of the road, and I put down my window, and I said, "What's going on?" And she told me that she had been left at the lake. Lake Sikiu is where we were going to be camping, and she had been left at the lake and had to leave, and had been walking for hours, and no one had stopped. And just then an RV came up and stopped and said what's going on, and it was a man and woman in there, older, and she told them the same thing, and they said, "Well, we can call the police for you." And she said, "Well, no, I just want to get home. I'm staying at the RV park that's just up the street. I just want to get home." And they said, "Okay, well, good luck." And they drove off. And she came back over to me, and I was sort of in a haze. I was so tired at this point from being on the road for so long, and it was late. I got out of the car, and I opened up the back seat, and I pushed all the stuff aside and made room for her and her baby. And they climbed in the car, and I googled the RV park, and it was 6 minutes away. And so I turned around, started driving her there, and she said that it had just been a bad night, that they had been at the campground at a party, and things went south. And it was a little bit fuzzy, but what I interpreted is that she needed to get out of there, and just started walking. And I didn't ask if she had a phone. I assumed she didn't. And just as a single mom with a little girl, my guess was it's got to be something pretty bad for you to pick up and start walking in the dark night, that late at night. And she had been sobbing and just sobbing and saying no one would stop, no one would stop. I've been walking for hours. And she said, "Thank you so much." She kept saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for stopping." She said, "Oh, my arms are just so tired. She's been carrying this baby this whole way." And we drove into her RV park, and I asked her daughter's name, and she said her name was Rose. And my daughter's name is Sophia Rose. Her middle name is Rose. And then I asked her name, and she said Jericho. I've never heard anybody named Jericho before. It was, I don't know, there was something poignant about that. I know Jericho, there's a battle of Jericho in the Bible, but I don't know. Anyway, and she just said, "Thank you again." I said, "Are you going to be okay? Are you safe?" And she said, "Yes, I just need to get inside and sleep." And so I watched her go and get into her RV, and when I knew she was safe, then I drove away. And Sophia and I made it to our campground a little before midnight. We put our tent up in the dark and climbed into our sleeping bag. I just laid there thinking, this woman was crying and sobbing and alone and with her child late at night, and no one would stop for her. And cat always seems to want to join me when I'm doing this. And it just seemed, it was heartbreaking to me. was absolutely heartbreaking to me. And I watched it happen. I watched the people come up with the RV and say, I'll call the cops, but that's it. And I just had to wonder why no one would stop to help her. And I knew it was because of fear. I knew they were afraid. And I have to admit, there was something that came into my mind. It was like, what's happening here? Why is she alone at night? Is this going to be safe? I mean, it was just this fleeting thought that came in and out. But it wasn't a fleeting thought for them, the people in the RV, and I'm sure it was not a fleeting thought for who knows how many people who drove past her. And it just seems so poignant, because when you look at our world, we have this pandemic going on where we have to be afraid of our neighbors. We have to be afraid of our loved ones. We can't go see our family members. We have become a society that is so afraid, so consumed by fear in every way, so afraid of everything. We have insurance for this and that, and we have insurance for our insurance, and it's all about being safe, and it's all about protecting ourselves. And as soon as we hear about something bad that happened to somebody else, we have to tell everybody about it so that they can protect themselves. I don't know if you're on the app Nextdoor for the community thing. Well, I signed up for it, and I'm wishing I didn't. It's all about that. It's all about, I saw some very suspicious looking people walking through our neighborhood, and we have become this society where we wall ourselves off from everyone and from everything, all in the name of protecting ourselves. We are afraid of that person, and we're afraid of that person. We're afraid of our neighbors. We're afraid of anybody that looks differently than us, or talks differently, or believes differently. We have to protect ourselves from them. Why? When did life become about being this safe? And maybe it has always been that way. I don't know. I grew up in that way. And I've been trying to unprogram myself from that ever since. Because it seems like the more we try to protect ourselves, the more there is to be afraid of. And you know what? That's the truth. Because what we feel inside is projected into our outside world. So it's no wonder that we have created this environment where we have to be afraid of everyone and everything, because that's what we're feeling inside. I saw this one thing on social media once, and there was this one time that this one person got carjacked, so now I can't ever stop to help somebody in need. Really? And what's the worst that can happen? She could have robbed me, taken my money, taken my purse, taken my tent, their possessions. So what? Could she have hurt me? Could something? Yeah. You know what? There's all sorts of things that could hurt me in the world. All sorts of things. Every day, I could get hit by a bus walking across the street. And yeah, if I want to be afraid of absolutely every little thing, I can sit in my house and I cannot leave. And it can eat me from the inside out. That's how we end up with so many diseases, so many illnesses, all these stress illnesses. Yeah, because we're worried about everything all the time. Why? We are spirits living this human experience. And we do it over and over and over again. And we're here to remember our true essence. Love. That's it. Our true essence is love. We are born love. Fear is what we learn throughout our society. Fear is used as a method of control, a method of division. You know, the woman's name being Jericho got me thinking of the biblical stories of the Good Samaritan and the Golden Rule. I got my daughter a book when she was little about the Golden Rule and how every major religion in the world has a golden rule that is the same thing. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you were stuck in a bad position and you had a little child to take care of, how would you feel? Have you never been in a situation like that before? Where something went down, you were afraid, and you needed help? Have we forgotten ourselves? Have we forgotten who we are? We are love. That's it. Get emotional. Change starts with each and every one of us. If we want to live in a different world where we don't have to be afraid, we need to stop being afraid. We need to start believing in each other. We need to care about each other. We need to have compassion for each other. We need to understand each other and not judge people. We're all just these fear balls running around. I look at fear as the Dementor in Harry Potter. That cloud of fear, and ironically, California is full of gray clouds right now because of the fires that is consuming the state. It just makes it all that much more poignant. It's consuming our world, this world of fear that is sucking our souls. It's sucking out the true essence of love that we are. When are we going to stop being afraid? And going back to who we truly are, which is source. Beautiful, powerful, loving, caring, compassionate source. Truth, love, and not fear. Help others. Care for others. We're all gonna get sick and die someday. That's the worst that can happen, right? The worst that can happen is death. We're gonna die. Hey, newsflash, we're all going. We're all going one way or another. Would you rather die living in fear every minute of your life, forsaking others who might need your help along the way because in name of protecting yourself? Or would you rather die knowing that you put yourself out there, you took a risk to help and care for somebody? If it doesn't go the way you want it to go, come back again and do it next time. At least you chose from love. At least you care. At least you did your part to put love out there instead of fear. It's time, people. It's time. We have got to start changing the way that we look at things. We have to analyze every single thing that we do. Is it from fear? And saying, I just want to be careful. I just want to take care of myself. I just want to protect myself. That's all fear. All of it. And we have to start analyzing every single thing that we're believing, every single thing that we're feeling. Most likely it comes from fear, and most likely it's programmed into us through society, through our news, through our social media, through our family, through our culture. It permeates every part of our society. Why? It keeps us from being the people we want to be because we're too afraid to put ourselves out there. We're too afraid to let people see who we truly are inside. It's keeping our world from being this magnificent heaven on earth that we have the ability to create. We have to be willing to step up, put ourselves out there, take a risk. Is it scary? Fuck yeah, it's scary. Fuck yeah, it is. So, do it anyway. Do it anyway. If you want to live in a world that's beautiful, then heaven on earth, You have to live that way yourself first. Let go of your fear. Be fearless. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Step up. Don't let a woman and her baby walk through the dark street in the middle of the night because you're too afraid of what might happen. What would have happened if I hadn't come along and helped her at that point? They're drunk people driving around the curvy, windy, dark road in the middle of the night? Yep, probably. She could have been hurt, she could have been killed, because someone wouldn't have stopped and helped her, because they were too busy trying to protect themselves from something that might happen, from some fear in their head. I would prefer to put myself out there, take a risk. At least then I know that I'm doing what I can. Trying to embody love as much as I can, and I'm not perfect either. I judge. I make mistakes. But it's my desire. It's my intention to try to live that way in every way that I can. Because change is going to start with me. I don't want to live in a world that's consumed by fear. I don't want a life that's consumed by fear. I want to live it to the fullest. Every minute of it. So just question yourself. Watch yourself. Question where your feelings and beliefs are coming from. Ask yourself, are you coming from love or fear? What are you protecting yourself from? What kind of world do you want to live in? It's up to you and it's up to me. We have to take these steps one by one. One by one, change starts with us. Sending you love.